As a kid, I had a natural curiosity in astronomy and weather. Particularly in weather, I wanted to be able to forecast the weather by signs, by clouds and wind direction and barometer. So like any kid, when you have the curiosity, that's the main thing. So I went out and read books and studied and kept notes on weather records and that, and started to make some of my own conclusions of predicting the weather, and which later really played out on my expeditions. I mean, the ability to predict weather and ocean currents are absolutely essential in Arctic exploration. I mean, your life depends on your weather predictions many times. But I had this curiosity, and I followed through on the curiosity. And I basically followed through by going out of doors. So I had this freedom. I had this interest, for example, in astronomy, and I had interest in shooting stars, which meant if you're observing shooting stars, you see the most shooting stars after midnight. So for a 5th grade kid, I was allowed on a school night to get up whenever I wanted to. You know, I usually got up about 1:30 and observed until 4. And I would sit by the shadow of the chimney there away from the street light, and I would observe the shooting stars and map them on a map and so forth, and then go to bed at 4 o'clock. And as a good altar boy, I would be up at 6 o'clock to go serve the 6:30 Mass and then off to school. And those are really good times for me. Weather-wise, I had a rain gauge in a field where you had, because when you collect water, you had to be away from trees. So I had several observation points where I would take measurements and meet with friends and watch thunderstorms and fly kites and talk about weather and talk about our, things that we're doing in baseball and football. I mean, I was a really normal kid. I played sports, and a lot of sandlot sports. I mean, we grew up playing ball. Depending on what season it was football, baseball, or basketball. So I was very normal that way. But I had this incredible interest of the natural world that as a grade schooler, that played out a lot in my in astronomy, my observations in astronomy and weather. And in terms of observations, weather, I had thermometers on that I followed, and a barometer and a rain gauge, and saved my money to have a telescope so I could see the rings of Saturn, and I pursued this. But again, this is what we hope to do through the program, is to really encourage kids to get out and to observe and to follow their natural whims.